What's up everyone, welcome back to a brand new video. This video is going to be kind of a different format. I've had this idea for a while now but never got to it because it's kind of different than what I normally do. I actually based it off some old art that I made. But I decided finally I just want to try a different type of what if story. One that's not focused on the entire series but rather a small moment in time. So this is going to be very different from what you might usually expect. But if you guys do like it, be sure to drop a like on the video because it lets me know that you do want to see more videos like this one. And I could probably make some more short stories like this in the future. Now let's get into the actual story. Our tale starts when Vegeta died against Majin Buu. He goes out in a brilliant flash of light, and then finds himself somewhere strange. He's definitely not in the normal mortal realm anymore, but he ends up coming across King Yama, who questions what Vegeta's fate should be. He decides to let Vegeta keep his body just for now. He needs to keep him separate from everyone else, and he does have a ton of work on his plate right now, and expects more soon with all the chaos that's arriving on Earth. For the time being, King Yama sends Vegeta down to Hell, retaining his body. This is a strange realm. It's kind of unbelievable to Vegeta. This is actually what Hell's like. It makes sense that he ended up here. He accepts that, but it makes him wonder too. If he's down here, who else is down here? All the people he's met in his past life. All those around him who have been sent here, and the people who he sent here personally. He wanders around for a bit, flying around this vast place, trying to see what type of powers he could sense. And he does sense one that feels a little familiar, but he can't quite put his finger on why it seems familiar. As he flies overhead, he sees someone who looks pretty familiar, at least at first glance. He lands nearby, only seeing the man from behind, but that hairstyle is unmistakable. It's Kakarot. Why is he here though? Did he die? And why is he in Hell of all places? Shouldn't he not be here? He yells out to who he assumes to be Kakarot, and the man turns around. He definitely looks like Kakarot, but a bit different, and now Vegeta notices he has completely different clothes on too. But the man still reacted to the name. How does Vegeta know the name Kakarot? But as his eyes lock with Vegeta's, this Kakarot lookalike realizes who he is. Is that actually Prince Vegeta? So, it seems he finally kicked the bucket. And then it clicks with Vegeta. It's probably just some regular low-class Saiyan that looks similar to Kakarot. But he asks what the Saiyan's name is. Maybe he could help be his guide around here. The man introduces himself as Bardock, and Vegeta immediately recognized that name. Raditz has mentioned it before. That explains everything. Why he reacted to the name Kakarot and why he looks like that. So, he assumes this is Kakarot's father. And he is, but he wonders how Vegeta even knows Kakarot. Vegeta explains that his journeys ended up taking him to Earth, the planet where Kakarot was sent to. He says Bardock might be proud to hear that Kakarot was the first Super Saiyan, and the one to take down Frieza on Namek, even if he technically didn't get the kill. Bardock has heard some rumors of that, with other people in Hell mentioning it, but it's nice to hear that confirmed. But he also hears that Kakarot's dead now. Apparently he was on his own terms, against some android or something. Bardock's just surprised that he didn't end up going to Hell. Well, that's good for him, he guesses. This shows that Kakarot's definitely not a normal Saiyan. Really, he's only heard stories from one person about Kakarot. Everyone else were just random Frieza soldiers that had secondhand accounts. But there are two people here that were face to face with Kakarot for an extended period of time. And Vegeta then hears someone yell out at him. It's a familiar voice. A larger Saiyan with long hair flies over towards him, and as he gets closer, Vegeta can immediately tell who it is. It's Raditz. He looks a bit furious at first, but then a bit happy. You know, Vegeta's dead and all. That's kind of a good thing for him. And Raditz yells out for Nappa, telling him to come over here. He's gonna love to see this. Vegeta then quickly whips himself around, seeing a blast flying towards him, effortlessly knocking it away. And floating there above them is Nappa, with a sinister grin on his face. Well, it's good for him to see that Vegeta's finally dead. Bardock just kinda watches on. He knows it's a strange situation because, well, he knows what Vegeta did to the two of them. At least for Raditz, it wasn't as personal, but for Nappa, it definitely was. Raditz is angered about how he was left behind. But clearly he's on better terms with Nappa now, even though he did basically the same thing. But Nappa's the one who's really angry. He hates Vegeta for what he did. To dispose of him like that. The disrespect. He couldn't believe Vegeta treated him that way. And Vegeta chuckles. It seems they haven't changed a bit, and he's not surprised they feel this way. He turns around, prepared to leave. He doesn't want to spend time bickering with them. But Nappa yells out to Vegeta. If Vegeta won't take them seriously, they could force Vegeta to take them seriously. Vegeta senses their power spike. He turns back around and sees they're powering up, it looks like. They're surrounded by a familiar golden aura. And it seems they're stressing while doing it, but they're definitely transforming into what looks to be Super Saiyan. Their transformation completes, and each of them stands there triumphantly. After all their years of being here, all this time training, all this time fighting against Frieza Force soldiers too, defending themselves. And most importantly, after all the anger towards Vegeta and Frieza finally built up. All those factors combined allowed them to unlock this brand new power. It was only fairly recently though, but they plan to use it in defense if Frieza did show up at all. They're still not too sure what happened with him, or if he got his own personal hell or something. But it's good to have the reassurance, and it's especially good to have Vegeta here. They could teach him a lesson. And momentarily, Vegeta is a bit shocked, but he immediately brushes it off. What, is he not surprised to see not just one but two Super Saiyans? No, it's not that. Vegeta's already experienced his own Super Saiyan bargain sale on Earth. What's 2 more of them? And he congratulates them mockingly. They did exactly what his 7-year-old son was capable of doing. And most importantly, what he's capable of doing, as he effortlessly turns Super Saiyan. Well, doesn't matter to them if he's a Super Saiyan or not. It's time for revenge, and it's still a 2v1. They can make this a good fight. The 3 rush in towards each other, with Raditz and Nappa trying their best to hurt Vegeta. But he's so quick, he's so powerful too. He's not even fighting back, and at the rare times where their attacks do connect, Vegeta's either just blocking them or being completely unfazed by them. And he commends them. This power is impressive. He guesses it is interesting to see them at this level. Bardock's just watching nearby. He was worried this would happen. But then again, Nappa is kind of in his right to do this. But he could tell just by Vegeta's demeanor and the fact that he came here after so long that they're probably going to lose against him. Vegeta then starts fighting back, letting them know a secret. He could tell they haven't fully mastered Super Saiyan just yet. He actually did it quite a long time ago. Plus, he's ascended it. It's almost like he's using this as an opportunity to train them if anything. They take offense to this at first, but then Vegeta transforms once more. His appearance barely changes, but they could tell his power has exploded even further. He tells them this is the power of Super Saiyan 2. Maybe one day they can attain this as well. He doesn't even fight back, and they don't even attempt to fight him either. They realize they already lost right when this battle started. But still, they're just flabbergasted that he didn't do anything. He gave them tips on the power. And even though he could have probably just defeated them with 1 attack each, he didn't. He didn't try to embarrass them. Nappa laughs a bit. It seems Vegeta has changed. He's definitely not as merciless as he was before. The 2 power down and descend to the ground, with Vegeta following suit as he powers down. They do want to learn more about that power. But more importantly, they want to know what Vegeta's been up to. He doesn't seem like the same Vegeta as before. And Vegeta says he thought he had changed, at least for a bit. But earlier that same day, he had some desire to go back to his old ways for a bit. Plus, it's not like he can completely outrun his past. For those reasons, he assumes that's why he's here again. And he feels he definitely deserves it. They haven't actually heard about Buu yet, so Vegeta explains what's been going on. How the battle between him and Kakarot turned out. How he fought against the Frieza Force, the Ginyu Force, and Frieza himself on Namek. The fight against the androids in Cell. And how Vegeta became Earthling almost. Starting his own family, becoming a completely different person. What's interesting is they heard that the Dragon Balls were real. They were actually used on Vegeta too. He died once and he was revived by them. And they ask, is he gonna get revived again? He's not too sure. Earth's Dragon Balls can't bring him back again. His only hope would be Namek's, he guesses. But with the way things are going with Buu, he doubts Namek will even be around to bring him back. The 2 are pretty surprised to hear that the Dragon Balls are real and they're actually that powerful. Although a bit bummed that Vegeta never thought to bring them back with the Dragon Balls. But Nappa says to get used to it down here. Seems at this rate, he's gonna be stuck here for a while. Maybe eternity. Well, if they're down here, Vegeta asks who else is down here. If he's gonna really be down here for that long, he at least wants to see who he's gonna be spending that time with. Bardock butts back in. Vegeta could probably guess where all the Saiyans went, as the 3 of them guide Vegeta over to where the other Saiyans are. Not all of them are right here in this one spot, but a good amount of them are. They tend to stick together, since nearly all of them got sent here. But Vegeta can immediately pick one of them out of the crowd. One who he locks eyes with, who beckons him over. It's his father, King Vegeta. He must say, he's pretty surprised to see Vegeta here, not only because he lived that much longer after the other Saiyans, but also the fact that he somehow died. What happened? And from what he could tell, Vegeta's a powerful warrior. They've all heard rumors from people in the Frieza Force that have been sent down here too, as well as some of the people from the Ginyu Force. They know he was present to help defeat Frieza, and now Vegeta's just confirming all those stories. And King Vegeta admires what his son has become. He's a strong warrior, having kept that Saiyan pride alive for so long. But Vegeta tells his father, he's sorry to disappoint, but he's not the same Saiyan that he once was. He sees that trying to relive his past today by giving in to Babidi was a mistake, because now he's actually facing that past by seeing those same Saiyans here. He's not like any of them any longer. King Vegeta doesn't know what to think about this response, but is at least glad he retains that same Saiyan pride and strength. He could see it in Vegeta's demeanor. That Saiyan pride still burns fiercely inside him, whether or not he's still acting the same way that he used to. Maybe that change is what allowed him to survive in the first place. It's no coincidence that all the Saiyans were down here. Sure, King Vegeta obviously doesn't think that they should have been killed that early by Frieza, but he's not too surprised that everyone got sent down here. But it seems they have it within them to change. And Vegeta says he thought he did, but look where he ended up. He's where all the others are too. No matter what, he feels like he was bound to be here by default, even if he doesn't see himself in the same light as these other Saiyans. But King Vegeta doesn't care. Either way, he's glad to see his son again, glad to see the strong warrior he's grown into. He's not only a Super Saiyan, but he's ascended that. It truly makes him proud. Plus, he still is royalty after all, and King Vegeta openly welcomes his son back into the Saiyan kingdom. And this really does bring Vegeta back. It was one thing for him to become Majin earlier, giving into Babidi, having that evilness within him creep back up. But the Saiyans have all been here for so long, all together, none of them had any incentive to change. They all act the same as before. It was pretty evident because of Raditz and Nappa in the first place. Maybe it's just in their nature to be this way, or maybe hell made it so that they were stuck like this, bound to just repeat that history again. They all still respect him too, and it's so surreal seeing this. They still respect him just as much as the king. He was a bit doubtful about his own changes, and is clearly very remorseful for falling under Babidi's control. He personally couldn't see his own change, despite what Nappa and Raditz were saying about him, despite what Vegeta knows is true. He knew that he'd become a different person. He knew that Earth rubbed off on him somehow. He knew that Kakarot rubbed off on him. But he was in denial, especially after those events today. But he spends more time in Hell, around these Saiyans, and he comes to realize there's no reason to have that doubt. He's not like these Saiyans anymore. Sure, he still does hold remorse for how he once was, and that past never did die. He doesn't know if he'll ever truly outrun those actions he took as a Saiyan beforehand. But what he does know is he's not that same person that he was before. These Saiyans give him a clear view into that previous life that he once had. When he first got here, he viewed himself as different, thinking he was just a Saiyan in denial about being a bad person. But facing his past up close like this, it makes him see that he's not different because he's in denial. It makes him see that he's different because he actually is different. He's changed. And as he continues spending time with the Saiyans, he converses more with those that he actually knows. Coming back to Bardock again, who actually did want to hear a few more stories about Kakarot. And he seems to be the one exception. Vegeta doesn't know why, but Bardock feels different from the other Saiyans. Is it because he's just projecting Kakarot's qualities onto him? Or is he actually different in some way? And it's strange too, because while Bardock has heard rumors about what Kakarot did on Namek, for some reason, he seemed to know a little bit more about it. He seemed very confident that it would happen. It's almost like he foresaw it happening. And Bardock still does retain some of that same Saiyan nature. He definitely isn't a great guy, but Vegeta can see some things unique about him. And it's strange for Vegeta to think the actions of this random low-class warrior from so many years ago, it drastically changed what his life is like today. Had he never sent Kakarot to Earth, Vegeta never would have lived the life that he did, and he wouldn't have changed as much as he did. And maybe that's what he sees in Bardock that's so unique. He's an average Saiyan who tried to be something else. He stood up to Frieza. He saved his own son, which eventually led to Frieza being defeated. And maybe Vegeta's thoughts on these Saiyans are too harsh. Maybe there's more to them than just being the brutish warriors that they were before. Just like this one, Bardock. Everything about him is average. He's just a normal low-class warrior. But as Vegeta continues thinking about his situation, some attendants from King Yama come to him, beckoning him back up there to where King Yama is. Vegeta is a bit confused because he didn't realize how much time had passed, but it seems he's being called back to Earth, being brought back to life temporarily to help fight Buu once more. As far as he could tell, he's Earth's last hope. The other Saiyans wish him luck, but he tells them he'll probably be back here soon anyways. It was an interesting experience meeting them again, as he's brought back by Baba. And immediately as he gets back, the first sight he sees is the same thing he thought he saw at first in Hell. It's Kakarot. But this time, it's not just a lookalike, it actually is him, talking about some earrings or whatever, and how much Buu has changed. Vegeta is honestly not too sure how this fight will go, but it's not like he has any other choice. And this is where our story ends. What did you guys think? Leave your thoughts in the comments below, and leave some suggestions if you have any ideas for other short stories like this. And be sure to drop a like if you want this to become a recurring thing here. Again, this is kind of an experiment, so it helps to know. Anyways, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all in my next video.